Then I hope you boys rock the Ave song now. Come on.
Bonjour, Giwita Benese Conditioning Cause, Pennywating First Nation in Dunjiba, Neshti Benese in Dodem. My name is Tessa McLean and I'm from Pennywating First Nation, and I was raised here in Denver. And before I start, you're probably wondering what this red paint on my face is. So we did this last year at the Women's March. We painted our faces red to represent the oppression of Native women and the Native women who have been silenced either through incarceration, through murder, through abuse, through sexual assault, through, everything that we endure as Native women. So we painted our faces last year, and everyone just took pictures of us like as if we're zoo animals. We're not. We had a story to tell, but no one wanted to listen. So this year an invitation came out to me to speak at the Women's March, and I was like, yeah, hell yeah, talk about Red Fawn. So we did that today. We talked at the Women's March about Red Fawn, and we had thousands of people there saying, "Free Red Fawn! Free Red Fawn! Free Red Fawn! Free Red Fawn!" Yeah, it was amazing. Probably 40,000 people shouting "Free Red Fawn." They probably don't know who she is, but they're going to learn when they Google her. So we had that opportunity. Some of us here did interviews. We were photographed for Denver Post, and we were all shouting "Free Red Fawn." I just wanted to say, I'm sorry to Red Fawn's aunties, to her sisters, to her nieces and nephews. I'm sorry that you have to endure this, but we're here to endure it with you. And to everyone here who donated time, donated money, donated resources to Standing Rock, thank you. And to all of us here who went to Standing Rock, we came back. Red Fawn didn't. She didn't come back, and she's not coming back for years. So thank you for remembering her and standing with her and giving us your money, giving us your time, giving us weekly nights, weekly meetings. Everyone here has done a lot, and we appreciate it because, it's Red Fawn that's incarcerated right now, but it feels like I'm incarcerated, feels like these women are incarcerated. And as Glenn said, it could be any one of us. Every time we go out to the front lines, we ask ourselves, what are we sacrificing today? Because that's what it comes down to. If I go to Standing Rock and I go to the front lines and I go out there with my brother and my little nephew and it's attack of the dogs, what are we sacrificing? And Red Fawn, she's sacrificing her freedom for us, for water, so that we could be here, so our kids could drink water, so our future generations could drink water. So I'm so grateful to Red Fawn for sacrificing for us so that we could all be here and to build community, because this is community here standing up for Red Fawn. So thank you, everybody. Mikuch.
So I'm going to shake these guys' hand first because that's the way I was raised. Dagota, Sky Roosevelt Morris Gonse. My name is Sky Roosevelt Morris. I come from the White Mountain Apache Nation and the Shawnee Nation. And I stand before you all with a humble heart and an enduring heart. And I want to apologize to my elders because in our tradition it's considered sometimes to be rude when a young person speaks before some of our elders do. And so I want to apologize for that. I'm not trying to be rude. I was just asked to speak, and so I just want to do this in a humble way. It's really hard for me to get up here and talk because I buried my mom about 5 months ago, and in our way we're not supposed to be up here when we're grieving like this. we're supposed to kind of stay off to the side and stay at home and keep to ourselves and reflect deeply about our loved one that we let go on to the next place. And so this is really hard for me. So please just bear with me a little bit, because it's been a minute since I've gotten up here to speak. But I thought, what better place to speak today than for my sister and my cousin Red Fawn. I've known Red Fawn my whole life, and our relationship really became special about the time her mom got cancer. Troyland Yellowwood, who was a longtime member of our community, and she was on the backbones of our community. Any event you went to, Troyland Yellowwood was there. She was there at every single event. Always there to support, always there to help us, always there to lead us, always setting an example of what a good woman leader does for our community. She was like a mother to me. She took me in, brought me into these traditional ways, and so I owe a lot to Red Fawn's mom, Troy Lynn. So when Troy got sick, I started helping the family out a little bit with what I could, because I felt like I owed them that, for sharing their mom with me, for sharing their mom with all of us. And it was through that me and Red Fawn kind of got to know each other better, reacquaint ourselves again, now that we were both older. And eventually her mom walked on. She lost that fight with cancer, but she was greeted by our ancestors, so her struggle was no more. And as we took her mom up to Crawford to put her in the ground, 2 days later my mom got really sick, and she almost died. And Red Fawn was with me. And Red Fawn drove all the way back from South Dakota, all the way back to Denver with me in one day, along with some of my other relatives, because she knew how important it was for me to be there for my mom, because I had been there with her and her mom. And she stood with me, and she prayed with me. And my mom lived for a whole nother year after that. But they came for her. My ancestors, they came for her. And my sister was already in jail at that point. But not even jail could stop her. And I want to emphasize that. Not even jail could stop my sister from supporting me when I needed her. When she found out that my mom was dying, she texted me every single day. She called me every single day after my mom died, because she knew what that was, what that heartache was. And even though she was sitting in a jail cell thinking that the world had forgotten about her, she had it in her heart to pray for me. Somebody who's privileged enough to stand in front of you all today as a free person, as an in-day woman. What kind of privilege is that, to be able to stand up here and say those things? And my sister prayed for me. She put all of her strength into those prayers. And I can stand here now because of those prayers that my sister gave. And so I wanted to share that because I want people to know that on a very intimate level, many of us in this room, many of my aunts and uncles, my cousins, we've all been deeply touched by Red Fawn at one point or another. And we are still being touched by Red Fawn. I wouldn't be up here, honestly. For anybody else, I probably wouldn't be up here. But I owe this to my sister Red Fawn, because she brought me peace. She comforted me in my grief. And that is something that I will never forget. And so before I step down, I just wanted to briefly also say about this justice system that we find ourselves in here right now. I don't know about anybody else in this room, but this doesn't really feel like justice to me. Well, I'm glad it doesn't feel like justice to a lot of other people sitting in this room right now. Because that's not justice. What young Native woman should go to jail for possibly life for doing nothing but standing up for Unchi Maka, Mother the Earth? for our water? What kind of justice system are we living in where good people go to jail for nothing? And how long are we going to stand for it? How long are we going to sit back and let these people make these decisions? Let them put our sisters in jail. Let them kidnap our sisters, rape and murder them, and toss them on the side of the road. How long are we going to collectively allow this behavior to go on?
No more.
No more. That's exactly right. And Red Fawn said, no more. Red Fawn stood and said, no more. And we have to stand with her. And we say, no more.
No more.
We don't believe in your justice system. We have our own conception of justice. We don't need your conception of justice. We have our own justice as Native people. And that's exactly what is going to bring our sister home. It is not the federal judge. It is not the cops. None of them. We cannot rely on any of them to bring our sisters home. We have to do it ourselves. And so I want to thank each and every one of you because you took the courage today to come and stand with us. Stand for something meaningful. Stand behind our sister Red Fawn because she did. She gave up everything so that I could stand up here and say these things before you in a proud way. And so thank my sister Red Fawn for that. As my relative said, this fight isn't over. It's just beginning. The momentum is just beginning. We can feel it in the air. The energy is just beginning, folks. And we're all here together collectively sharing that energy. And so I don't want you to lose that energy when you leave this place today. Don't forget about this energy. Don't forget about the people sitting in this room. Because these are the people you're going to be going to jail with someday. So you better know these faces. Thank you guys very much.